I don't know why I'm starting to laugh already, Mr Gysbers, but for those listening, each week we talk with a teacher, and it's my absolute delight to have Mr Gysbers here, he says with a smile on his face.
No, I was supposed to be first and I got pushed off to second. So,
because
I'm just saying.
You're so busy. I mean, what can I say? I mean, you're committed and you're busy and you're focused.
Thank you. I think.
One of the questions I've posed to a number of our guests up to this point is, where are you from, Mr Gysbers? You're from the USA? Is that right?
I'm not. I'm from Canada.
Canada, sorry. It's
Yes.
same thing, isn't it? I mean,
Sorry. You're a New Zealander.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Touche. Good point.
I am from Canada.
Right.
My mom lives just north of Toronto, and I lived there for a long time.
Yeah.
And I also lived in Eastern Ontario, closer to Ottawa. I went to university in Ottawa.
Right, okay. And one of the things that I'm always interested in is, how did you end up being a teacher in Korea? Like, how did you end up here? I mean, you're coming out of Canada.
I tried really hard to not be a teacher.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's a typical Gysbers response, I might add.
Yes. I thought about being a teacher when I was in high school. But in Canada, I ran into, when I was in high school, there was all kinds of labor strife with teachers. And so teachers, a lot of people sort of start to look down on the profession. I didn't like the idea of being told that I have to go on strike if I didn't necessarily believe in that.
Yeah.
And so I ran away from teaching for quite a while, thinking that just, I love the idea of teaching, but not the environment that I'd have to work within. So I also loved other stuff. So I went into engineering. I studied engineering, finished an engineering degree, but in my while I was studying and during an internship, I was working for the federal police in Canada doing research for them.
Okay.
And I went, I'm doing top secret work for the federal police. And if that's not fun, then I'm not going to enjoy this profession. So I got out of that.
It obviously wasn't fun.
It wasn't that fun.
Right.
No.
Okay.
They put me into a room. I wasn't allowed to talk about my work with anyone.
Wow.
And they put me into a room with no windows. I was by myself in the room, and I was doing work on some things. And so people had to use a key to get into my room, so people couldn't even come visit me.
How long were you in the room for?
16 months.
Oh, but what was a normal day?
A normal day.
Like 8 hours a day in the room?
Yeah.
Did you have light?
Yes, I had whirling servers behind me, so I had a nice humming sound behind me.
That might explain a few things.
Well, let's say it affected me. It affected me. So anyway, I got out of the engineering profession, and I thought, you know what, I want to be a university professor. Then I don't have to worry as much about the labor strife. And so I looked at getting into a master's program, and I thought, okay, well, I want to get some experience teaching first. I came to Korea in 2006.
Right.
And then I accidentally, while I was here, met my wife.
Right.
And so that kept me here a little longer. My dad got into financial advising, and he said, you should give that a try. It's awesome. So I tried that.
Back in Canada?
Back in Canada.
So you went back to Canada?
Yep. We lived there for 2.5 years.
Right.
And then I went, I like the idea of what this is, but I hate actually doing it. The salesmanship, I'm not a good salesman. I'm too honest for salesmanship.
Not good.
And so I thought I got to stop running away from teaching. So I didn't actually start teaching. I didn't get into teachers college till I was 29. Didn't start teaching till I was 30.
Wow. So a late bloomer.
I was a late bloomer.
And you've bloomed ever since.
Sure.
Well, so how long have you actually been at the school for?
I'm in my 6th year. Here.
6th year. Okay.
Yeah. Never thought that I would come back to Korea, and I didn't even apply for this job.
Well, how did you get in it?
I was on one of our teacher recruitment sites, and our former principal Jamie Robb. Yeah. He sent me a message asking, "Are you interested in a job in Busan?" So we never expected to come back to Korea, and somehow I ended up stuck with you.
I know. All I can do is apologise.
Well, what can you do?
Nothing at the moment. All right, Mr. Gysbers, it's been nice to hear about your teaching and how you ended up here, and all said with a very straight face, of course, and only a smattering of humour.
Yes, I'm not a humorous person, so I like this straight-facedness.
He says with a smile on his face. Thank you, Mr. Gysbers.
No problem.
Well, I'm here in my office with Grant. Hello, Grant.
Good morning.
Morning. It is. You're right. It is still morning. Yeah. You're right. Sometimes you get that wrong. Sometimes you say good afternoon and it's morning. And Alex, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
We're here to talk sport, which is coming up this weekend. And I know by the time this gets to air, hopefully we would have enjoyed some fun, excitement and success. But I'm actually not here to talk about the results. I'm here to hear you guys have been training and playing no matches. You haven't had the luxury or the ability to play against anyone. Grant, how do you feel about things now, mate? You're actually trained and you're going to play.
Well, as you said, we've had no tournament
No.
so far this semester for basketball, I don't think.
No.
And so, we haven't had a chance or an opportunity to try out our skills on the court against another team or against another school. So it is exciting. This Saturday, I believe, and next Monday. And so I'm looking forward to it and to playing with my teammates.
Because it's one of those things where you train
Yeah.
and yet you don't play. And most, certainly myself, and I'm sure you guys, you are training to play in matches.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. Alex, how are you feeling about the matches coming up, and hopefully we can do more?
I feel really good about this because we finally have a stage where we can show off the skills we learned so far. It's so fortunate that other students couldn't play a match with other schools, but it's really lucky. We're lucky to compete with other schools and show our learnings.
And I think one of the exciting things is it's against BFS, and we've had a really good friendly rivalry against them for many years now. And the fact that they're willing to play against us and us to play against them just adds to the excitement. So take me through it, Grant. So you've got matches this coming weekend on Saturday, and then
Saturday and next Monday.
And then Monday as well. So
BFS.
At BFS. So hopefully you would have enjoyed yourself on Saturday when this goes to air, and be looking forward to the match on Monday. The match is on Monday when it actually happens. Grant, thanks for coming in and having a chat. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks.
And Alex, thank you for coming in and having a chat as well.
Thank you.
A pleasure. And you're off back to Mr. Wilson's class.
Back to Mr. Roland.
You better move. Adios.
All right.
Well, I'm in the design technology workshop at the moment, and you can probably hear Mr. Love is making so much noise. I tell you, it is hard to think. It is hard to... Mr. Love, I need you to come over and talk to me about what on earth you are doing.
Oh, Mr. Roland.
Yes, it's me here, but I'm trying to talk, but I can't because you're making so much noise. So I need, can you come and sit over here and tell us what you're doing? I'm in the design workshop. You're banging away. You're making noise with your saw. You're a boy with these toys. I mean, what on earth are you doing?
We just put aside all my safety equipment, like my goggles and gloves. All very important, right, Mr. Roland?
Absolutely essential in a workshop.
So yeah, we're having a little bit of fun in grade 9 these days with a project that we haven't done in quite a few years. It's basically upcycling materials that are very prominent in South Korea, but really all around the world. And that's wooden pallets, taking wooden pallet to taking them apart and using the wood to create some useful products.
Okay, and where did you get the pallets from? I mean, I know that I see them on building sites all the time, but where did you get them? Because you got a whole heap of them in here that have all been chopped up.
Yeah.
Well, what are you doing?
Well, actually, half of them we got from a delivery to the school about 8 months ago.
Okay.
I don't remember what the delivery was for, but Miss Sunny in the maintenance office, she very kindly remembered that I was interested in collecting them, so we got quite a few there. And just, looking around, poking around, asking groups on Facebook and
good.
trying to take it from people who don't want them. and actually they have to pay to get rid of them. Just like a lot of the garbage, right?
Yeah, of course.
In Korea.
So you're actually recycling some of these pallets that people don't want.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's fantastic.
So what are you doing? Because I can see it, but our listeners can't see it. So tell us, what are you doing with them?
So we're setting our expectations a little bit small just to start, because this is new, and we're not thinking about building couches just yet or anything like that. Something on a smaller scale. But we're taking apart these pallets, making sure that they're safe. And we're trying to think of creative ways that we can solve problems in and around the school. Teachers' classrooms, in the library. Mr. Kruger's got a lot of ideas. Maybe organizational type tools that we can put together for teachers for organizing their papers and books. And I mean, there's 100 different ideas.
There is, and where apart from talking to teachers, do the students come up with these ideas as well, or do you sit down and talk with them, or how do you generate them?
It's both. We look into different ideas. And then a big part of it is actually finding a real client and seeing what their needs are. Yeah. And something that was kind of cool this year, I asked the students to do a couple of observations where they sat out at a break time and they looked around and they looked at how students and teachers to some extent were interacting with their environment and looking for issues. And this is awesome too, right? Because in grade 11, this is what they do in design technology. It's the biggest stumbling block for those grade 11s to have good observation skills and to look for issues within their environment.
So they're going to find a need, and then they address that need, and the conversation, talking, observing. Okay, wow.
Exactly.
All right. So how long is this unit going to go for with you? I mean, you're obviously sort of in the middle of it now, but what are we looking at?
Yeah, so now we're looking at about a month plus of time where they can actually start putting it together. Yep. Because we only see them, for 3 hours a week. So we're going to have to take some time to do that.
And once the products are finished, are we going to see them around the school, inside, outside, or where are we looking for?
Hopefully, mostly inside, because I'm not sure that we are going to stain and treat everything. Okay. But if we do have some products that have to go outside, then we'll give them some extra treatment. But yeah, hopefully you'll just see them around the halls, maybe even in the primary, as long as they're safe. We have to make sure that they're safe. Of
course. Well, we certainly do look forward to seeing them around secondary, but if need be, they may appear around the elementary. Mr. Love, thank you for your time. It's been wonderful to talk grade 9 design.
Yeah, great to share it with you.